This isn't the meeting about the meeting to have the meeting. This is the brass tacks for your situation.
So let me talk to her and
Oh no, we're not coming back.
I don't want to make the decision right.
Gotcha.
I'm a fairly educated person to
yeah.
understand.
What do you do?
But
What do you teach?
computer science.
Oh yeah, computer scientists, always the best. Engineers, lawyers, I set them all up. So
I'm not making my decision.
I firmly believe that the utility grid will eventually fail to the point that people will lose power for weeks at a time. You obviously have a reason for saying that. Would you mind sharing it with me?
Our company, they said, yep, you're good to go for us to do our I knew this.
Yeah. And they said, we're not making any decisions today. I got to think about this. But what happened at the end? We got the deal, baby. We make plays.
Hi.
How are you, boss?
How's it going?
I'm Taylor. I was the one that put it all together. This is Nick and Patrick. He's just training.
Okay, hi.
I don't know if there's like a small corner of a table where I can kind of put my stuff down. I'll show you how it all looks.
How long is this going to take?
I'm pretty quick. I'm really good. I mean, I can go through it in 15 minutes.
Okay. So 15
depending on how many questions you have.
15 is fine.
Do you need me to take off my shoes?
That's fine. You can go.
Okay. So I don't have a long drawn out process. I'm just going to show you the logic behind this and then show you the actual design of the system. This is your house. What I'm showing you is the pre-report. You guys get crushed in sun in the summer and in the winter. You have a lot more sun on the front of the home and this side just because you have that big tree in the back. So you have a little bit of shading on this back portion. So the idea and the destination that I try to get families to is when we're able to produce all your power on site, that's what the ideal situation looks like. When DTE sends you a bill, you're getting a negative statement where it says do not pay, or you have very small bills in the winter for like 10, 20, 25 bucks a month because we're producing the power on site.
So when you say in the winter, there's no sun in the winter, how do you produce the power?
Okay, so the idea is there's still sun, but what happens, like for example, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, you're producing more power than you need, and this is all credits on the bill. So when we get to these winter months where we don't produce as much sunlight, the idea is that you're utilizing these credits in the summer months to use in the winter months. So it's like AT&T rollover minutes. If you don't use your minutes at the end of the month, they roll over to the following month.
Right, but where does this power come from? Because we're getting it from the sun, and it's harvested here, and you use it, right? So
yes.
Where does it come from in the winter?
So we still get sun in the winter. You're still going to produce in the winter.
Yeah, not as much as,
Not as much in the summer, but you can see in winter months, you're still producing power on site.
Right.
The idea is the panels are collecting the sunlight, works to something called an inverter, which converts the sunlight to electricity. Then it works into a battery. The battery allows you to store power during the day and then utilize that power at nighttime when they charge so much per kilowatt hour.
Right.
I always like to ask too, is your wife here too? Is this something you want me to go over with both of you?
Yeah, she's here, but she just came from work and she's taking a nap.
Gotcha, okay. Just because rather than me going over it with you and then me re-going over it with her, I was just like to ask. I don't know if you're kind of like the primary.
I was texting Will that she's not feeling well. And
no worries.
And, I was wondering if we can reschedule it, but you guys came anyway. So.
Gotcha, okay. That's what the new panels look like. They're a lot more low profile. As far as the major...
Low profile in terms of like putting them physically? Or?
Yeah, you can kind of see these ones are kind of a little bit like thicker. The new ones are a lot thinner and they work right on the actual roof. They're all black. Right. So there's a lot more low profile. And then as far as the biggest questions I get from families, what happens to my roof? It keeps the house a lot cooler in the summertime. We're responsible to maintain the system, warranty, insure the panels, the roof, and the dwelling. So if something happened like something happened from the panels and it caused any problems in the home, we'd fall responsible. If you move, it transfers the same way DTE would. The new homeowner would just have a lower cost of living. The cost to you, you're already paying for this. So if you're eligible for the program, all I'm doing is I'm redirecting, or I'm taking the money you would have given to DTE, I'm shifting it to fund the program, giving you a lower cost per kilowatt hour, and then giving you, most importantly, control and predictability. Because when a utility company continues to increase, that amount is fixed. So 5 years from now, if DTE tries to get out of this debt, Edison to the parent company, and says the rate's going up 30%, it doesn't affect you if you're producing your power on site.
But are we completely independent of DTE once we have this?
We either do one of two things. We either completely fill up the roof with panels, or we get you 100% of your electric from the utility or from the panels. And if we're able to get you all your power, then yes, you are independent from the utility company.
So it depends on how much power you produce at the end of the day?
Correct. And that's why I have Nick finalizing the system design for us, and I'll be able to show you that here in a second. So as far as what I go over with you today, like, I'm just very much cut to the chase because I'm a consumer myself, and whenever I put myself in this sort of situation, I don't believe in high pressure. I don't believe in somebody sitting in my living room for 2 hours trying to explain this to me. So most people aren't going to do this if they had to go into any sort of debt, or if they had to take out a loan, or they paid a bunch of interest, and then if there was just a manufacturer warranty. We're responsible to maintain this entire system for 25 years. If anything happens to the system, we're fully responsible. It's called
what is in it for you guys if you're doing this?
What's in it for us? I'll get right to it. What's in it for us is, why did you pick DTE?
Because there was no alternative.
So imagine if a new utility company opened up in town and said, instead of sending DTE the bill, pay us for the power, just at a more economical amount. So you're just buying the power from us instead of buying the power from DTE.
So the confusion I have about this is, in the traditional sense of solar energy, you get the whole thing set up here. You pay for the initial costs and installation and everything, and then after that, you just harvest power, right?
Of course.
This one is a bit different.
This
right?
is.
So you guys are saying we'll deploy everything here, and then we're going to sell you the power.
We pay for the entire system.
Yeah. So the return on investment for your company is, once you invest on the infrastructure, you're gonna provide the power with maybe less price, less expensive.
Exactly. You have the ability to own the system and buy it outright, but for most people, they aren't going to take $40,000, $50,000 out of their pocket.
I have checked this prices before, so it's 30 to.
Of course, it depends on how big the system is, and the problem with the loan programs right now is the interest and the fees, they're called dealer fees, are just so high right now that for this, I could show you a return on your investment first month. It's not like going to take 6 years before you get a return on your investment. Like, literally your first month, you're getting rewarded by producing the power on site. We eliminate all the fees. You gain the control and predictability, which I think is the most important part.
The predictability is a bit questionable in my opinion, because depends on the weather. If there's extreme winter, like if we have that, I don't know how we're gonna.
So that's
survive independently.
It's a great point. That's why we do something called a production guarantee, meaning that if the system doesn't produce what we say it's going to produce, then we would have to actually credit your account.
Okay, and then how do I end up getting power if there is, the demand for more power in the winter?
So you're always going to have a DTE bill. Every month you're going to have a DTE
bill.
That's
what I was heading, where I was heading. Okay.
But if you're not drawing any kilowatt hours from the grid, that's how you'd have a negative statement. If you draw 100 kilowatt hours from the grid, you're buying your power the same way you would have bought the power from DTE.
So basically, if you run out of your balance, the solar balance, you're going to use from DTE and you'll be charged for 30 days, right?
What I like to refer to as people going solar drunk is when they get the panels on the roof and then they're like, oh, we got solar, we can produce as much power as we want, let's keep the ACs on, let's do this.
100% independent prematurely.
Right. What I'm basing this system on is your last 12 months of usage. So if you told me right now, hey Taylor, I'm getting an electric car, I'm getting a hot tub, then I'm oversizing the system. I cannot go above 110% though, because what happens is they'll deny the interconnection document. The program that were in the past where you'd either have to pay all the money out of pocket, you'd have to take out a loan and go into debt, you'd have to pay a loan with interest and fees. And what I would propose is a first-class option where there's no loan involved, the sun goes up, the bills go down. The control and predictability comes from the fact that with the utility company, they can raise your rate at any time. They can say, hey, the rate's going up 10% tomorrow, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, given that we don't have choices, right?
Exactly.
Especially in this part of
so what I mean by that is from the inflation that's just bound to happen, and then we maintain warranty and insure the system.
So are you saying that in your case the rate is the same, right?
We give you a fixed amount, correct? So
it's a flat rate every month?
Exactly. So the way I'm going to break this down...
It's a bit odd, right? Utility is pay per use, as we know it, right?
It's per kilowatt hour. Yeah. So the thing is with the utility company, that kilowatt hour fluctuates where every year, the public information is the rate increases, and if I have your permission to be blunt, the private information is the debt. They're
the fees, whatever.
The $25 billion in debt. And then when you really look at the utility bill, you see that there's all these renewable energy charges, $7 fee. Oh, we want to bill you $8 for this. And that's how they get out of debt. But if you look at Edison, the parent company, they went $3 billion additional in debt over the last year. I don't know if you
offset that.
Well, like wildfires in California, they had to take responsibility for that. The lawsuits, them taking power lines and putting them underground. Yeah. And I don't think it's Edison's fault. I just think it's the fact that the power infrastructure is over 120 years old.
Like most infrastructure in this country.
Yes, exactly. And the reason we pay so much for power, though, is because of the delivery costs, like the transmission fees to get the power from point A to here.
I think that takes most of the fees over here, right? So for DTE, I see the details on this.
It's 40% of the actual bill is just fees. Right now, there's no incentive staying with the utility company. We see 8 to 10% increases. There's no added home value. Last year, how many kilowatt hours did he consume from the grid? So 6,032 kWh is what you consumed last year. And if we take that 6032 divide by 12, you're averaging about 500 kWh per month. That's what you're drawing from the grid right now. Now, I always like to ask, I have the number because he looked at the bill, but how much do you think the average amount that you paid to DTE is over the last 12 months? What do you think the average monthly amount is?
Not less than $150, right?
Okay, what did you have as actual average as that he's paid to them?
Your average is like $112.
Okay, so 112 is where your average amount is that you paid for power. So 112, once you factor in the new increase that hits this year, your next 12 months is going to be at least 120. That's just conservative, taken over the next 12 months. So I take that 120 and multiply it by 12. Every year you're giving them $1,400, $1,440. If the utility company told you they would never increase the amount again, and you just paid $1,440 a year, in a 10-year period, you're giving them $14,400. In a 20-year period, you're giving them $28,800.
You can't leave without it.
Yep. And then like 30, so like 43 is what you would give to the utility company if they never increase the rate. That's just the situation we're in today. So what do we want out of it? We use the home as a reference point. You're pretty much like a billboard for us in the neighborhood. A lot of people that put up the panels a couple of years ago, nobody put a battery on the side of the home, and that's what caused a lot of stress to the grid. That's like the heart of the system. It allows you to store power during the day and then utilize that at night to lower your peak of use, like the time when you use power the most. With this program, we're able to decentralize the way that you pay power. You gain an asset, you produce the power on site, and the control and predictability comes from raising utility rates from the utility.
I'm not gaining the asset though, right?
The way I look at it is you do. And
you mean in terms of financial gains?
Well, this is the way I look at it. So first off, if you're saving money on a bill you're not going to cancel, but let's say you go to sell the home in 3 years.
Yeah.
The solar incentives are all gone at the end of this year. I don't know if you saw the big, beautiful bill or whatever.
I don't know the details, but I'm not surprised.
They took away all the solar incentives starting in December 31st of this year.
Right.
So let's say you go to sell the home in 3 years and all these other people are going solar because the utility company raised the rate. They're going to not get any sort of incentives, which we're applying directly into the system for you.
Yeah.
But when people buy a home, they care about the cost of living. So if everybody's bill around here is $300 and you're paying half of that, then it's...
You can factor that into the negotiation.
Exactly. Cost of living, yeah. Okay. In return, if you are eligible, and keep in mind, what we do today is we're not installing any panels. All we're doing is setting up a date for them to come look at the roof. We're seeing if you're eligible. We submit an application to DTE for interconnection. And then after we survey the home, like we look at the main panel, the roof. How old is the roof?
4 years.
4 years? Okay.
2021.
Perfect. Okay, so that should, as long as you don't have any like ridge sags, which is like dips in the roof, that's typically...
I think it's fine. I don't see any issues.
Got it. And then you'd produce the power on site. We'd eliminate the fees. The added equity comes from the control and predictability. We apply the tax credits, the warranty, and the production for 25 years. It's better for the environment, and then the amount's fixed. What the fine print states is if involved with the program, we reserve the right to disqualify due to shading, structure, or infrastructure. However, what's out of our control is if DTE denies the application, because I need to be able to interconnect to the meter. And that's what allows us to do something called net metering or net billing in your situation. So that's just kind of the situation that you're in today. What we want out of it is we use the home as a reference. Typically, I go over this with both you and your wife, like, because I want you both to be on the same page.
Right.
But for a lot of people, they realize, well, if we're going to cover all the out-of-pocket expense, there's no loan involved. Most people aren't going to object to paying less on a bill they're not going to cancel. So as far as the design, what you'd have as far as the battery is full home backup. What that means for you is if the power were to ever go out here because of grid failure, you would still retain power here in the home.
So what is the capacity of the battery? Like
10 kilowatt hour.
10 kilowatt hours.
All your lights and whatnot would go for a week, yeah.
Yep. Lights, refrigerators,
standard
sub-pump.
use.
Yeah, not like running the AC all
Not
day.
going crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, just like what I tell people is,
Minimum, right?
yeah, just put on fans and then. But that's if we lost power for a week straight.
Right.
Which at the end of the day, you'd rather the first time you lose power, you're going to be like, wow, you could be the only house in the neighborhood that has power because of the battery. That's your consumption every month. The red and the yellow is your production. So you can see some months you're overproducing, some months you're underproducing.
Depends on the time of
So just to put this into perspective, is if this system was turned on in October, you're going to get bills for the first 5 months from the utility.
Mm-hmm.
But starting in March, April, May, June, you're starting to stack up those credits.
And it's surprising that in July and August, I'm almost underproducing.
It's because you must use a lot of power during those months.
But still, that's when we have the
Yep.
whole sunlight.
The production
Weird.
peaks. The production peaks in July
Yeah.
and then starts going down in August. So that's like
It's
where we get the
equal,
most sun.
though, right?
Yeah.
I would assume, I could be wrong technically speaking, but
Mhm.
I would assume that in the peak time of the summer, the yellow bar would be taller.
So in your situation, we're able to produce 5,862 kilowatt hours, which is equivalent to 97% of the
Almost
power.
close to what we.
If you use less power next year, though, that you'd have more than 100%. If you use way more power next year, then yeah, you're going to still get a bill from the utility company. It's small, but the idea is that all the kilowatt hours on this side you're protected on. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the way that the system would be designed. That's where the panels would go. As far as the battery, that's your proposed storage.
How big is this battery? Like in the
2x3?
Yeah, almost like 2 feet wide, like 4 feet tall.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And where do you put it? Normally?
next to the meter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's typically where it goes. Okay, your energy usage, kind of went over that.
So these panels, how heavy are they in terms of like the pressure they have on the roof? And things like that?
35 pounds per panel. Panels are 5x3. They're a lot more low profile than the bigger and bulkier panels. But like I mentioned, if anything happens, so it protects the roof because you're not getting the wear and tear of.
Yeah, but if they're heavy, obviously.
Yeah. There's 35 pounds per panel, but because we're on the hook to maintain them, if anything happens to the roof, we fall responsible. We do something called an 86-point inspection checklist. So Freedom is the nation's largest, actually our office is right here in Canton. We're the nation's largest privately held solar company.
Right.
We specialize in the battery technology, the panels, the warranties, maintaining the system. We're one of the only companies that offers that survey today because these are all time-stamped. I always tell people this is the meeting about the meeting to have the meeting. This is the brass tacks for your situation. For you guys, a lot of people, the ideal situation is most people will put the panels on the home and they'll pay a little bit more. But what deters them is paying for the battery out of pocket. There's the fortunate few that are rich and pay for the system out of pocket. And then because of certain circumstances and situations, some families would only do this if we exempted you from all the cost of the equipment and could show you savings immediately from day one. So with you guys, you get the best of both worlds where you're cutting the cost of what you'd pay immediately from day one. It's not about saving 20, 25 bucks, 18 bucks a month. That's not the reason that you would do it. The idea is you're getting full home backup with the battery. You're producing almost all of your power on site, but the best...
Well, we are producing it, but we are buying it from you, which is somehow ironic, right?
Yep. You can always pay for the equipment, but then that requires...
How much is the equipment, just for my information?
Yeah, so...
If I had to pay this out of pocket, how much would it cost?
So if you paid for this out of pocket, how big is the system? It's going to be probably 30 to 40K out of pocket. If you
5.33.
It's going to break it down, yeah. It's roughly 30 to 40K. I can have them pull that up, but this is the way that
I think the average I checked in the past, it's been a year or so, but like not less than 35K.
Yeah, but this is including a battery. So if you were just to factor the solar without the battery, that's the heart of the system, which is really the main thing. I think the reason that most people don't buy the system is they don't want to be maintaining the system. They want full coverage on the system if anything happens.
So on the $97 thing, so can you go back to that place where it was showing me the monthly bill?
I got you.
Got a bit confused about that. So here it says a first year, right? Year one.
Mm-hmm. So
and obviously that tells me that year two is going to look like a bit different.
Yep. So this is what I was going to go through. Yeah. Normally the utility goes up like whatever 8%. Normally these renewable energy programs do a 5.99 cap. Okay. We reduce it in half to a 2.99 cap. What that means for you is the second year, the most that your monthly amount can increase to on month 13 is $100. Mm-hmm. 3 years from now, 103. 4 years from now, 106. 5 years from now, when the utility amount increases, you're at 109. Okay. So we do a true 2.99 cap. 3% on $100 is like $3 a year is the most that it can ever increase. So that is the annual escalator, right? So that's almost 3%. That's the cap, correct. So that's a lowered cap amount where we could never increase it by more than that, and that's it. I mean, I could give you a long, drawn-out process.
So in 2 years you would hit the cap. That's what it looks like, right?
You would hit the 5.99 and 2, but it's 2.99 annual escalating. So on year, whatever this was, year 6 times 1.0299, year 7 times 1.0299. 8 years from now, your electric bill is 116, and you're producing 97% of your power. The reason why I say control and predictability being the most important part of this is because in 7 years, I believe that the utility companies could easily double, if not triple, because the amount that we're paying per kilowatt is around 20 to 25 cents all in. But in certain places like California, they're already at 65 cents a kilowatt hour. Mm-hmm. So with the infrastructure continually needing upgrades and updates, that's how your exact situation would work.
So I'll let my wife know about the details. So and do my research as well.
Yeah. So
we jump into this if we have to jump at all, right?
Yeah. All we do today is we start the process for you. If you like this idea, if you don't like the idea, you can always take out a loan or you can go through the company to do it. But with this, it's a little bit more selective just because this is all time stamped. Mm-hmm. So the idea is like if you
what do you mean time stamped? There is a process.
This is all
step 1, step 2.
No, yeah, this is all time stamped. Yeah. So what we do today is we just apply to see if you're eligible. If it shows me that you are eligible, then we move to the next step, which next week they would send out a truck, giving you time to talk to your wife about it. But the analogy that I give to families is if you had the panels installed and you had the battery and you had the $97 amount and DTE knocked on the door and they said, hey, let's rip off the panels and the battery, come back to us, you'd pay us more and we could raise your rate at any time. Most people aren't going to do that. So the idea is, if you like this side better than that side, we start the process for you today. We're just step 1 of the process. Step 2 is surveying the home. Step 3 is getting the approval from DTE. Step 4 is the permitting. This is about a 90-day process. So if you talk to her and like we set up the survey for next week and she's like, we're not going solar, we don't want to use our company resources, and you just tell us not to come.
Yeah, so let me talk to her and get back to you. Right?
Oh no, we're not coming back. So this is how we apply for the system.
Oh, we have to do it right now?
I'm not installing anything today.
I understand. But
what we do is we have to
move forward with the process.
Correct.
I
yeah.
talk to her and just make sure that we are on the same page, right?
Yeah. Do you want to ask her if she can come so I can explain it to her? Like,
I told her that you guys were coming, and she said she's tired, so I
got
didn't want to force her too much.
Do you want us to step out real quick and then you can explain this to her?
So don't we have the liberty to think about this and get back to you guys? You can't not today.
You can. It's just I'm not coming back, brother. I'm just being very blunt with you. It's just you would go through the marketing department, and the marketing department has totally different numbers. Typically, with that situation is when you'd have to do the interest loan and buy the battery. The company allots me to fund 5 of these. I don't believe in high pressure at all. That's why I would give you time to talk to her. Mm-hmm. But the thing is these are all fine. These are all timestamps. So I'll give you an analogy. When you bought your home, did you get a mortgage on the house?
Yes.
Okay, so when you go to the mortgage company, you get approved for a certain rate, and they say, hey, you're approved for it. And then once you're approved for it, then you go and figure out what home that you want to buy. It doesn't mean that you need to buy a home, but those have a certain time period where you'd be eligible. Do I just have your permission to be blunt with you? I think sometimes people tend to make it a bigger decision than it is. Maybe if you were going into debt or buying a system, all I'm proposing is giving you your power at a more economical amount, allowing you to have a battery on the side of the home, and then years and years go by with the utility company increasing and you're just not affected by it.
Yeah. I understand all this, but it's something that we have to take slowly because this is not like buying a shoes or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So
we don't install the system.
It's a huge decision in terms of the power infrastructure here, the services that we get. So
if you feel,
I would rather take time, and if that means that you're not coming back, that's fine with me. But I think I don't want to make the decision right now.
Gotcha. And if the panels were installed and you had this situation, do you think you'd ever think about going back to that situation?
It looks attractive. That's all I can say at this point. But I have my habit is once you propose whatever looks shiny to me, I go back and do my research, right?
So I don't
want to jump into this.
So documentation beats conversation. I don't even know if you're eligible. If you aren't,
I don't know either.
So all we do is we schedule a date to survey the roof. If you're not like at the point to even have us look at it, then you're not ready.
That's totally fine with me. But even for that, I just want to make sure that I understand what this is saying, and I do my own research.
Did this kind of make sense though? Like, I mean, that's why I try to make it so simple.
It is.
Yeah. That's what you're producing.
I'm a fairly educated person to understand.
What do you do?
The difference.
What do you do?
I teach at U of M. So
what do you teach?
Computer science.
Oh yeah, computer scientists, always the best. Engineers, lawyers, I set them all up. So it's this. Yeah, I get it though, and like I just think like you're a little confused in the fact that like I'm not expecting you to make your decision right now.
Yeah, I'm not making my decision. Just let's be clear about that.
Of course, and the first step is literally just setting up a date for them to look at the roof. Once we have the final engineering report, then we pop back by and see if it even makes sense. Because if DTE didn't approve it, which I'm probably sure you're going to be eligible, I'm probably sure you're on the deed of the home, you're not a wanted burglar, you don't have any arrest warrants out in North Dakota, nothing like that?
No.
Okay, not yet, not that they know about. Yeah. So that's how the program works. Obviously, if you didn't want to do the first step, then it wouldn't be us following up. It's our marketing department. They'll like call you. So they'll call you, trust me. They'll call you like multiple times. It just wouldn't be this program. It would just be the program where we can either give you an actual loan with the system, or you could, take a...
That's my money.
How are you? He just got a new hot tub. It's getting installed next week. So this is, I know you were sleeping. I know I didn't get the text from Will, the one that popped by. But this is if you wanted to show her the design real quick, and that's what we would. You want to show her the design real quick?
Yeah.
That's kind of what we proposed is if you're able to produce it all on site, you get the panels and a battery. You don't come out of pocket, and you'd pay less immediately from day one. I think your husband understands it. It's just
I told her briefly about this.
That's
but
an idea.
Not the whole story.
And then the left side indicates your situation with DTE. The right is what the new situation would be, and then. Just show her that's kind of what the bill, which you guys would still have a small bill, especially during those months that I showed you.
So rather than paying that with DTE and then being affected by the rate hikes every year, you'd be bill swapping. There you go. Now you're protected. You guys
So
have a
just
backup
for the
battery.
summer or the whole year?
All year.
This is for all year.
So it's 97% of the power that you used last year would be produced here on site between the panels and then the battery with the storage. That's what the new panels look like. And then if you turn it around, those are the biggest questions we get. You're already paying for this. Like, there's no loan, there's no debt. We're just redirecting the money you would have given to DTE to fund it. The problem that is going to happen is DTE is going to eventually continue to raise their rates, and where the $120 average that you pay to DTE is now, it's not going to be like that in 5 years. I think we can both agree it's not going to go down.
I'm quiet because I've asked all my questions.
Perfect. So that's the exact situation. I just wanted to explain it to her because but that's how it works. There's no more, there's no less. I could have given you a 2-hour process. I could go over every spec of the panels, After we survey the home, then we go through what we show you the agreement that everything is the same way that I put on there.
How about the initial installment?
If we were to use you as a model home, or if you were to do it with everybody else?
The material.
Yeah, if you were to do it,
pay for that or it's free?
if we were to utilize you as a model home, which means we use the home as a reference, we exempt you from all the upfront cost, including the battery. If you were to do it with the marketing department, then of course you pay for the labor, you pay for the installation, you pay for the battery, and you take out a loan to be a part of the program.
So what is the implication of a model home? A reference?
Yep. So for us, because the panels are going to be on the front of the home, we're able to utilize the home as a reference.
Like in your ads and marketing and all that?
Yeah, like we fly a drone over the home. Nobody's knocking on your door. Nobody's calling you, but it's like a billboard for us in the neighborhood. But like, for example, if we flew a drone on the day of the install and you saw it on a Facebook ad, like you're not getting any royalties. Like if another neighbor says, "Oh, I saw those
There's
panels."
no chance that we're going to get rich.
No. Well, I mean, the way you become rich is when everyone else loses power and you have your power and it still works here in the house. But it's just one of those things where I could look you square in the eye and say there's a right way and a wrong way to power your home. You can always stay with DTE. It's not like the end of the world. You don't pay $400 on the utility bill. It's just now you're able to produce power on site. You're able to have a battery to back up the home, and it's just a better situation. When did you move into this house? 2021. So imagine this: when you called DTE to power, went to like say, "Can you turn on my power?" and they said yes, but we need to send a representative out to your house, and he knocked on your door and came in and said, "Hey, you have the option on the left or the option on the right. The option on the left we can raise at any time because the power is being produced out of state, and then the one on the right would include a battery to back up your home. We can never increase the amount by more than that 2.99 cap, and we're giving you your power at a much lower cost per kilowatt hour." Nobody's picking the way that we power our home now. It's just a better situation. Yeah. So all we do today, and if you don't feel comfortable, and this is where the process ends, is we set up a date for them to look at the roof, to look at the main panel. If they determine that the roof is eligible, then we have to gain eligibility from DTE.
Is it only about the roof or other?
Well, there's the main panel. The main panel, sometimes when I go into like super old homes, they have to update their whole entire main panel. The main panel is like your main, it's like a little box. It's got a like metal box on it. The breaker, some people call it.
Yep. The one inside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that a 200 amp service?
I have no idea, but this home is from the 70s, 73,
Okay.
So I don't think they have.
So the home might not even be eligible. Like that's why.
Who knows?
That's why, like, you know, I can even take a quick look at it right now, or that's what they do during the survey, is they look at the main panel, the roof, no issues. You have the tree in the back. That's why we put the panels on the front of the home. We use the low profile panels. It's just like, I could take off to China for 10 years, come back and say, hey, remember me? I was the one that helped you out with the panels and the battery. And there's no way you're going to say, oh, I can't believe I did that. Like, I've set up 4 homes already today. This is the family I set up like 2 hours ago. This is the one that I was just with.
Is it in Canada?
Canton, yeah. This guy in Canton's had the panels. I added more panels and a battery. He's had the panels on his roof for 1.5 years. Mark and Sally McSweeney. I was just with them like 2 hours ago. They've had panels on the roof, but they didn't have enough panels. So I added a battery and the panels. So that's like.
Oh, they have already the solar?
Yeah, they've had it for 1.5 years. They love it. But I wanted to.
Just upgrade it?
I added a battery because he was about to get a generator and he didn't want to like fill up the generator. So that's what I did for their family. But I've set up like over 2,000 of these and 2,000 installations of panels. So it's like, it's not normally 3 people coming into your house. If I'm very blunt with you guys, it's just I train all the companies, and I've been able to help so many families with this program that at the end of the day, if you move forward with the process, there's no way that you're going to say, oh, I can't believe we're not with DTE anymore. It's just better. It's a good system. You guys would be happy. And
we have to think about it. So
yeah. It just wouldn't be.
That's what I was.
It's just not me coming back. It's the marketing department. You guys would go through the program where you pay the money out of pocket for the system.
Oh.
That's totally different. Yes, I get it. But the company.
So if the marketing department comes back to us.
Yep, they will.
What would be the?
They're going to propose you taking out a loan for the system. One of these 3 options.
Oh, so
You can always pay cash too. If you guys wanted to pay cash for the system and like buy the system, you could always do that.
Why is there such a drastic difference between you guys coming and then the marketing department coming back with?
Because
because
the company allots
it's the
us.
same company, right?
Yes, but the company allots us to fund 5 of these. I've already done 3. I'm going to do 2 more by the end of the day. And we're using you as a reference, or what we refer to as a model home. So when companies spend money on advertising, we're doing the same thing by using you as a reference point, which exempts you from all the upfront costs. It's not like high pressure, because this is a 90-day process. So like, here's the concern for people, because I'm a consumer myself. People want to make sure they're making the right decision, avoiding the wrong decision. You want to do your research. You want to think about it. Perfectly fine. Cross your T's, dot your I's. I challenge you to find one thing, find anything, find any reason why this isn't going to be better than your current situation. And if you find that, you just step out of line. The only way that you would ever get billed from our company is 30 days after the system is operating on your roof. You'd have the fixed monthly amount of that number that I put on that sheet. That's it.
So we are sure that the power would be the same, like in terms of capacity and reliability. It's going to be fine.
Based on the survey. When we come and survey the roof, we're going to be able to tell you if it works. If there's any sort of change with those numbers that I put on there, then there's another form that we'd have to come back with called a change order. For example, if they came here and they said the main panel isn't going to be good.
So you don't know if it works or not. You can take it.
I'm not the decision maker. Unfortunately, you guys aren't either, because DTE can deny the application and you can't get it. All we do today is we start the process for you.
Why do we start the process before we don't even know if it's working for us or not?
Yeah, then it's okay to say no. It's okay. It's not like you have to do this. You guys can always stay with DTE.
Oh.
You don't have to do this. There's not I'm just showing you the logic behind this.
If we say no today, it doesn't mean that we're going to stay with DTE forever. We can take other routes with your company or others, right?
Yeah, and that's.
We say yes today.
You're not saying yes today. All you're saying is, hey, we want to start the process. We want to investigate more in the process. Like I analogize, when you decide to buy a home, you get approved for a mortgage. Doesn't mean you need to buy the house. What it means is that you got approved, which we can't change anything.
Okay.
And that's all time stamped.
We just have to start the process.
You could start the process and you guys talk about it. If you were telling me right now, Taylor, we're probably never, ever, ever going to get this on our roof, then this is where the process ends. We're not going to use our company resources to come survey the home. Obviously, you're not paying for that, but if you were like, hey, we're open to the idea, we're interested, but I want to be able to cross my T's, dot my I's, make sure everything that I told you is exactly the way that it is, then yeah, of course, I'm a consumer, I get it. And
okay, we said yes today. So you guys start the process by taking a look for everything that we are.
We'd confirm for eligibility.
Yes, but you are the one who is coming to see the process, or another company? So
no, we do.
Pay for that?
No, you don't pay for that.
Okay.
We are the installer. We are fully integrated. We're the nation's largest privately held company. We are not contractors, nothing like that. This is the steps. I apply to see if you're eligible, making sure you're on the deed of the home. You haven't went through any bankruptcies. I do not do a full credit check or a hard credit check. I do a soft check to make sure that you are who you are, you're on the deed of the home, you haven't went through any bankruptcies in 12 months. If it says disqualified, then nothing I can do. If it says approved, then it's going to allot me to schedule a date for them to come look at the roof. I would then complete 2 forms that's showing you everything that I put on that form is the same way that it is. Then that would be sent to your email. You'd have that in your email. You'd be able to review everything, and I can review that with you today.
What is a loan for?
A loan is buying the equipment. What I'm proposing is selling you the power, not selling you the equipment. You're just buying the power that system produces.
How much is that? How much is the equipment?
Your new fixed monthly amount would be $97. The panels would be between.
That's a monthly payment for that equipment.
Your new bill would be $97. That's it, or whatever I put in there.
For the power the panels produce.
Yep.
Rather than paying for the equipment, you're not paying for the equipment, just the power of it.
If you were to buy the equipment, it's maybe on a low end $30K, and then $10K, $12K for the battery. So
that's like $45K or
$40,
whatever.
$45K, yeah. And some people do that. There are the fortunate few that say, hey, I want to do that and pay. Some people want to invest their money into the system.
And produce power forever.
Well, this is, no matter what, we're maintaining and warranting this for 25 years.
Of course, if you have the equipment and the equipment is fine, you get
So
power.
Here's a question you didn't ask. What happens at the end of the 25 years?
I kind of know what happens.
What happens?
You either get a new installation, the whole system.
Update to new technology.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Second option is we could take the panels off.
And start a new.
Third option is you can just renew because it's like 100,000-mile warranty on the car. The system's still going to operate after the 25 years. Panels have about 0.5% of degradation per year. So if the system's producing 97% year 1, year 2 it's producing 96.5, year 3 it's producing 96, year 4 it's producing 95.5, and that's just technology.
Depends on the weather and many other factors, right?
That's why
they're putting it up.
That's why the production guarantee makes a big difference. If the system doesn't produce what we say it's going to produce, we have to credit your account. But we want you to feel good about it. Like, I'd want you to be excited. Normally at this point of the presentation, people are like, do you want some pink lemonade? Like, they're pumped, you know? So it's like, yeah, it's just, it's different people require different.
We have nothing to do.
No worries. No worries. No worries. And I know I'm passionate about what I do, so like I apologize. I don't mean to be disrespectful at all. I know that you guys would be happy. Like, I have absolute certainty that if you moved forward and the panels were installed on the roof.
So if we change the house, we can move the.
No, the panels stay with the home, and the new homeowner has the lower cost of living, which appreciates the value of the home.
Oh,
If two of these homes were the exact same,
so we have to.
it just transfers to the new homeowner the same way DTE would. So if you.
Actually, if we invest the money on that, for example, if we buy cash, that's our money, right?
If you pay for the system cash, out of pocket,
right?
you're just not going to get if you go to sell the home, you're not going to get that $40,000 more for your home with the panels.
Yeah.
And if you take out a loan, you have to transfer the debt to the new homeowner. Yeah, this is the only way to do it. If you weren't going to do it this way, you wouldn't do it through taking out a loan.
Yeah, it's like buying a new AC unit and then you don't want to dismantle it.
Yeah. And the cool part about this is if you did want to buy the system, you could after the 5th year at fair market value. It's similar to buying a car off the lot or buying a car that was used. So it's like this analogy I tell people is if you had the panels installed right now and you had the battery that fully backed up your home because of power outages and you paid the $97, we would not be sitting here if I worked for DTE trying to convince you to take it all off to start paying more where they could raise your rate. You guys would have just told me no at the door. Like, you would have said, no, there's no way we're ripping off the panels and the battery. And this is me being just as blunt as possible. Sometimes people tend to make it a bigger decision than it really is, and they don't do anything. And then when DTE announces the increases, starting in December 31st, they're taking away all these solar incentives. You could do solar at that time, but it's going to be even more expensive. Just a big, beautiful bill. You could check on CNN. Solar tax incentives, all gone.
So next time we file our taxes, we're not going to benefit from that.
Of course, no. If you bought the system and you had federal income tax, then the tax credit is. I already applied the tax credit in. That's how you're able to have a lower monthly amount. Now, if you told me, Taylor, I don't want a battery on the home. I don't care about backup power. I don't care about storing power and using it at night during peak hours. I could get that $97 closer to $60.
So this package is with the battery?
This is with full backup battery, with the panels producing 97% of the power that you consumed last year. So next year, if you use a little less power, you'll be over 100%. If you get solar drunk and keep the lights on and ACs on all day and play PlayStation at 3 in the morning, then yes, you're still going to have a bill from DTE. It's the exact situation.
So it's going to be integrated with the DTE system, and then we will use the power from the panels.
Yeah, this is.
And if we use more than what the panels produce,
this
will charge us.
Last year used 6,032 kilowatt hours. This system's producing you 5862, which is equivalent to 97% of your power. We're applying the incentive for you. This is solar plus full backup battery, and your fixed monthly amount is $97.70. We cap the amount at a 2.99% cap, just to show you.
What does that mean?
So right now you're at
annual increase on the bill.
Right now your electric bill is $120, and they can raise it 8-10%. They can do whatever they want. With your situation, no matter what the utility company does, we can never increase your amount by more than 2.99%. So year 2, that's what you would pay for power.
Okay, you are going to increase every year?
Correct. 3 years, year 4, 5 years from now, your power bill would be $109. 5 years from now, it would be $109. 6 years from now, $113.
So it's increasing every year. Okay.
7 years from now, your bill's still lower than what you pay today. So unless DTE never raise their rate over the next 7 years, which...
So if DTE raise this why it's gonna raise too.
Well, no matter what, this is a 2.99 escalator. So on 7 years, your rate's 116.
Okay.
7 years from now, I'd bet that would easily be over 200, if not 250.
Oh, got it.
Because the cost per kilowatt hour continues to increase because of the infrastructure.
So this reason behind having a fixed bill per month is based on what you project as the power production divided by 12 months, right?
Correct. That's you're paying $97. You're producing your power. You're getting a battery. Like the first time you lose power here, you're going to be thankful that you did this because your refrigerator's going to work, your sub pump's going to work. We don't want you running the AC all day because that uses a lot of the battery. But like you'd have fans, you'd have lights.
Oh, we usually do that. So our AC is run the whole time in the summer. So
of course
we're gonna have we're gonna have additional money from here, right? If we run like more than.
If you use the same amount of power that you used last year, this system will produce 97%. If you go and use more power, you got an electric car, or he started mining Bitcoin in the basement, then yeah, you're gonna have a bill from the utility. But the first time you lose power, you're gonna be like, I'm so glad we did this. We got a battery on the home, we got all our panels, and we're paying less than what we would have paid the utility company.
We don't have issue losing like power.
I get it, but what happens when it happens? I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Yeah, and the infrastructure is the weakest part of the American economy. I firmly believe that the utility grid will eventually fail to the point that people will lose power for weeks at a time. Why do I say that? Why do I say that? Because it's already happening in certain states. And you're right. I hope it doesn't come, but I believe the utility company's corrupt.
Biden's infrastructure bill should fix that. Come on.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see, But that's exactly how the process works. If you're not excited about it, you don't feel good about it, don't do it.
I'm excited about it, but I have a concern that our house is not eligible for the process.
You obviously have a reason for saying that. Would you mind sharing it with me? Can I look at the main panel right now?
Yeah,
would it be too much of a problem? Yeah.
We have to change it.
Let me look at something. Because that's pretty expensive to update that to a 200 amp. That's what would have happened. We would have came out here, we would have surveyed the home. They would have said, hey, either you have to come out of pocket $8,000 to update that MPU. Just try to see what the computer says. I'm just going to make a quick phone call. You have 100 amp service.
Yes.
So let me see. Let me call my.
It's a very old one for sure.
Yeah. So that you either have to come out of pocket for that.
We don't want to do this as a.
Hey Mariano, how are you? This is Taylor. Hey, I had a question. I have a family right now. They have a 100 amp service. So as far as the main panel, that would not qualify based on their system. Is there any way that we can kind of try to put that in there for them if we updated the main panel, like to the 200 amp service? Okay. Which code would I use for that when I'm entering it in for the eligibility? Okay, perfect. All right, let me see. I'm gonna have Nick work his magic on the computer and see if he can do it. Yep. Can you see if you can use the Alchemy code for that main panel and that being updated without him coming out of pocket?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
There's a possibility that we.
If this is the.
So they change it?
Yeah, this
Should
is.
Should they change it anyway, right?
Well, this is. Let me see because that's a big expense for us. Let me see how it looks, and then Nick, whatever you can do. I know that I have funded a few of these before, so if that is a possibility, but I have to have him kind of see what the computer says because it's a 100 amp service, pretty much full. The thing is it's like $8,000 to upgrade that, so the company would have to come out and do that all before they actually put the panels on and the battery. So there's a benefit to you.
We have to identify that.
Yeah. Well.
How much we are not the one who is going to upgrade that, right?
Well, what I'm saying is, I just called one of the directors, and he said to enter in the Alchemy code, and then once I have him fix it, then I'm going to show you if there's any updates on it. It might show that you can get it at a reduced cost, and it might even show that you don't have to pay anything to update the main panel. So once he's.
To update.
Well, it would be all updated to 200 amp, which is a good thing for you to have here in the house.
So it would be physically
Yeah,
Update.
we'd update the whole thing to a 200 amp.
The
I'm not
whole
asking for
system,
pink
not only
lemonade, but
panel.
can I at least get a cup of water? Would that be okay? Even I'll take a drink out of your hose if I have to. Beggars can't be choosers.
That much
Thank
we
you.
can
All right, thank you.
Do you guys here?
I really want to go to that.
You know what we call computer science? You're a computer scientist?
Yes, sir.
You know what we call computer scientists in Boston? Wicked smart. We don't pronounce it as. We park our car next to Harvard Yard. We talk funny. Wicked smart, though.
Well,
I mean,
I am an academic, you know.
hey, he might start
What
mining
do you call
Bitcoin.
that?
What?
What is that?
Boston. Boston, Massachusetts. If you're okay with us using the home as a reference, we will completely replace the whole main panel. That'll be included with your agreement to a 200 amp service. You'd have the full battery backup, and you get the panels to produce 97% of your power. And the only difference is your monthly amount would be $102.58 instead of $97. And the whole thing gets updated without you paying out of pocket. And we will cover the entire cost of it.
Let's say yes. See what happens.
And so this is 102.
So you get 102 with the main. It's the only difference is the same system. It's the same.
Just to ask us to pay something. Right?
You just yeah. I can't. This is basically
Other than
the
doing repayment.
102.58 plus MPU 0 out of pocket.
So why do you call it financing option over here? I mean, when people tell me this is financing, I consider what comes first is loan.
There's no loan involved with this. They refer to it as a power purchase agreement or a lease of the system, but this is no loan. This is no financing. You're not financing the equipment.
So we're paying for the panel.
You're paying for the power.
Panel, right?
No, you're not paying for the panel.
$5 over how many years? Who knows?
Yeah, so it's just that's all included with the main panel. Normally, you'd pay a lot more to update your main panel.
So then, if I have to replace it now, I could pay $8,000, but the $5 every month would accumulate to kind of offset that price over I don't know how many years, right?
Yeah. If
That's the true cost.
If you really break it down, let's just do the math. That's an $8,000 upgrade, sometimes more, with all the labor. 5 times 300. There's 300 months in a 25-year period. It's $1,500 over 25 years, but you're not paying out of pocket. You're not paying interest on that.
Anyways, we're paying monthly for DTE.
You're already paying the 102 to DTE. So look at it this way: I'm redirecting. It really is. There's no I got you. It's not like I'm walking out of the house. I got him. Like
even paying less. So
everything I told you is exactly the way that it is.
if we're paying.
You're already paying for it, and you're getting the main panel and the battery.
And in the meantime, you can decide.
Yeah, you do 1,000%. Yeah, but if you told me right now, like, we don't think we're ever going to do this, we're not excited, then I don't want to set you up to cancel. I want you to set you up for you to do research, for you to cross your T's, dot your I's. But let me ask you this. If everything that I laid out on this piece of paper is exactly the way that it is, there's no more, there's no less, it's exactly this, there's nothing else but this.
You write something and send us an email. How about that?
What?
Email. The idea you have that, so we just need an email. You can send us an email. So
yeah, all we do today is we confirm for the eligibility. We set up a date for them to look at the roof. But if everything I put on this paper is exactly how it is, you'd probably lean more towards the right than the left because you're getting the main panel, you're getting the battery. Well, guess what? Everything I'm telling you is exactly how it is. I'm going to verify on the document that it is. There's no more, there's no less.
Yeah, so as I said, I tend to do research in anything that I'm going to do.
We want you to. Go for it, yeah.
So you can go ahead and do whatever you have to do, which is the application thing, right?
Yep.
And then I would take it from there.
You do as much research as you want.
Yeah.
If you have any specific questions, you can reach out to me. I'll be very blunt. I'm not managing your project. Nick manages the project. So the point of contact you're going to have is Nick. He's very good at what he does. He can answer any of your questions.
how long it takes to install the whole system?
It would get installed in roughly 8 to 10 hours, done by a crew of people, about 5 people that come to do the physical install. But as far as the system being operational on your roof, I'm going to tell you 90 to 120 days. But realistically, the system will be installed in 60 days. It might be less than that. I don't want to tell you 60 days and then it takes 90 days. I just give you a time frame of 3 to 4 months before the system can get installed. 30 days after the system is installed, the main panel is fully updated, which would be 102.58. That's it.
So the reason we are going to pay 102 is because of the other upgrades, right?
Yes.
The panel upgrade.
But the panel upgrade's like $8,000. What I'm doing is I'm exempting you from most of the costs of that. It's just I'm not going to go. Yeah, I can't go negative on the account. I can't go negative to the point where I'm paying for you guys to go solar. But when you do,
Still, I think
There's nothing in it for you to do that.
there's nothing in it for me. Yeah. But however, I do not do 2 accounts a month. I can show you all the families. I've helped like 15 families in the last 5 days. When you deal with somebody that's a professional in their field and does more volume, no one's given you a better opportunity to do this. It's not my first week doing this. I've been doing it since 2008. So for me, what's more important for me is getting the number on the board to win the competition than to say, oh, I made $1,000 off setting somebody up with solar. That's your amount. I'm giving you the amount lower than what you already pay today. You're getting the battery. You're getting the main panel upgraded. All he's going to do is confirm you're eligible. That's exactly how it is.
Calculation. Next year we're gonna pay 103 or something like that, and we're gonna up.
Yep. So it's going to show it.
Paying better than this one.
It's still better than because in 5 years that can go up 8 to 10%. Yeah. 102.58 times 1.0299. Year 2, the most it can increase to is 105. Year 3, the most it can increase to is 108.
Yeah.
So it's like you guys are smart people.
It doesn't mean that this is not increasing. This is increasing at a somehow slower rate.
Smaller amount. Now, keep in mind that we will not upgrade your main panel until we get the approval from DTE. That's what's out of our hands.
That much I understood. Yes.
DTE. Yeah, we do a form for DTE that we submit to them, and we have to wait for their approval to interconnect to that meter. Where's the?
Who's gonna work with that? The DTE or?
Nick is your project manager. Yeah. He's the one that handles everything for you.
Previously, did you do the same project that changing the panel, something like that?
I've done many MPs, many panel upgrades. So. Yeah, a lot of people are excited about it because like, well, I need this done anyways. Now I don't have to come out of pocket for it.
Do you have the meter on the back of the home or the side of the home?
Yeah, it's on the side. Is it? Oh, it's over. Yeah.
Is there any way I can take a quick look at it? Yeah, please.
Yeah, you can take it this way.
This way? It's on the left? You can stay if you want. It doesn't matter. I just need to take a quick picture of it. This is where, you could put the battery here, or you could put the battery above it. I would almost, no, the battery.
What battery is that? For the solar, to generate the solar?
So the panels are generating the power.
Okay.
And then what happens is the battery is filling up during the day when the sun is out.
Okay.
When the sun goes down, when you use power, it's like
winter time. So how we're gonna do that?
It's still producing power because you're going to be overproducing.
Actually, we have this one in solar. It's working in the winter.
The panel's still produce in the winter.
Okay.
So this system is going to give us 97% of what you use. It's your option. They're going to give you the option. I'll tell you what I would do. But when we come to do the survey, they're going to want to notate the account. Would you prefer that the battery be placed under the window or above the meter? Or do you want my opinion?
Your opinion.
I would place it above the meter.
Just to make it safer?
It's not that it's safer or anything. I just think it looks better because that's about the size of the battery and it would just go right above the meter.
The meter is going to stay there? Or
the meters are going to stay the same.
We don't need it, right?
The meter?
We don't need this one anymore.
No, you're still going to have the meter.
Why not?
Everything
This one or this one?
You're going to keep the meter. The meter stays the same.
Okay.
But there would be a battery placed right here that would interconnect to that meter. And you'll be able to say, like, if you said, hey, I want it here, and then you switch to saying I want it here, I want it over here, you can do that. I just notate the account. But I think that would be a perfect place to put the battery.
Yeah, I think we can think about it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt the wall too much, right? So
No.
drill that they have to make.
The battery is big and heavy, or
It's
lightweight?
It's 7,000 pounds, and we have to airlift it from a helicopter. It's got Christmas tree lights on it.
It's as big as
You don't want to do
car.
house.
Yeah, it's a Bugatti on the side of your house. You know the thing that's going to happen too, I'm going to let you know because I've dealt with so many families, is
Do you know your pre-tax?
I call it the big three. You guys are gonna think of a question tomorrow, or it might be tonight, or it might be 3 days from now. It might be what happens if the system breaks, and then you'll realize the system's warranted and maintained. It might be, well, how much am I paying out of pocket for this? And then you'll realize the only thing you're responsible for is the 102. when you think of these questions, instead of jumping to conclusions and saying, "Oh, we're just going to stay with DTE," just call Nick.
The soft check.
That's my. I was thinking.
Yeah, it's normal. It's
credit report information application. So this is to make sure our finance
Yeah.
company.
We're on the hook for 25 years.
They want to make sure that
We're on the hook to maintain the panels, the roof, and the dwelling. Okay, dwelling, the house. So what I would tell you is, let's say 4 years from now the roof started to leak. I would tell you to take your most expensive thing, put it under the leak, and then call us. You know what I told the guy that last week? His name was George. And I was like, take your most expensive thing, put it under the leak. You know what he told me? He said, Taylor, it would be really hard for me to convince my wife to stand under a leak. She was fine. I'll never forget that. He's like, Taylor, it would be really hard for me to convince Elena to stand under the leak.
So our company, they said, yep, you're good to go for us to do our
I knew this.
Yeah.
I knew this.
You're not a wanted burglar. They don't know about the arrest warrant in North Dakota for going 120 miles per hour on the
Never
sidewalk.
been there. So.
I'm just kidding.
Doesn't apply.
Sometimes it's sad. Sometimes they say no. We can't do it.
How you guys?
They do?
He was texting
Sometimes.
you.
Really?
Did you see his text?
His text?
Yes, text.
Based on
He didn't text me. He texted the Will, the one that popped by earlier, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
we were like
That's amazing.
planning to meet
Last time I saw it,
Yeah.
all one.
Well, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So you're approved. That's meaning that I can't change anything on that. That's exactly the way that it is. What we do now is we schedule a survey date where they're going to come look at the home. They're going to look at the.
Can you do it on a weekend, please?
I don't know if we have weekends.
Saturday.
Do you know if you have a Saturday slot?
I can call them right
Okay.
now and we can see. You should have gotten 2 emails. One saying you've been approved, congrats, you've been approved, and then the other one is the agreement. We'll go through that, and then that'll get you.
Do you want to go and explain the agreement and pull that sheet up and make sure everything that is on that sheet is the same that's in the agreement?
Yes.
And then it's going to schedule a survey date. And then do you have to do the doc for DTE first, or is it the actual form that's going to show everything is the exact way that it is here?
It'll just be the form that shows everything the exact way that it is.
Okay. And then Nick is your project manager. He's the one that manages your account when you have questions. He'll be the one that helps you get comfortable and feel excited about this by the time you get installed. And it's normal that you're going to have questions when they come up. Just give Nick a call. If you're unsure about something, give Nick a call.
Sometimes for some reason, if it's stuck or it doesn't work, so
We monitor
your
this-
company is gonna
but
responsible for that.
we monitor the
And this is
system.
a lifetime warranty thing, right?
It's a 25-year warranty.
Yeah, which is
Um,
essentially the lifetime.
And panels last for 30 to 35 years, sometimes more.
If something happens,
Yeah, we monitor the system, but you guys are required to keep internet in the home. You also have apps on your phone to see what the battery's producing and consuming. Yeah, Nick, what's your phone number?
831
831.
251
What is it?
251.
Okay. If Nick, that's Nick, who's your project manager. I'm keeping that form with you. So then everything that you have is that. And then Nick's going to be able to explain to you everything that's on that agreement, that it's exactly that I told you. And then you said Saturday or after 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
This one is fixed.
Magically, what if DTE said, okay, I'm going to slash it by 40%?
That is, I don't think so.
That's the only way that the deal doesn't make sense. That's the only way this doesn't make sense, is if DTE said, everybody, you guys have been super loyal.
They never, I don't
So
think
what
so.
is the
I don't think
document?
they're gonna say that.
They're
They might just increase.
No, they're announcing it next month that they're reducing everybody's bill 47%.
Estimated
They said
yearly
that?
monthly 102.
I don't know. I don't know what.
Sorry, I'm a joker.
I was like, I just wanna change my mind. You just said that, so I have to change my mind.
Yeah.
You said that, so it's increase of the home value as well, right?
What?
Home value.
4.1% according to Zillow?
You look up Zillow Solar, you'll find
Yep.
an article that they.
Did you go over the main terms of the agreement with him so he understands it?
Exactly.
Perfect.
Talk about how this is the protected rate that you're now getting, as well as like the protected warranty like you talked about, panels, the battery, all of it.
And at the end of this, we also do a welcome call where they're going to verify everything we went over with you to make
after
sure
25 years, it's going to be a 1 year at a time.
you could update to new technology, you could renew the current agreement, or you could have us take the panels off,
And they also
or you could purchase the system at fair market value.
Terms and purchase and outright. purchase the system, meaning the old system that has been there for 25 years?
Anytime after year 5, you could purchase the system as well. Here's a question you didn't ask. How could you ever incur a fee besides the 102? There's one way that you could incur any other fee. Hypothetically, if you asked us to come take the panels off, store them, and put the panels back on because you were to either do a new metal roof or you were doing an addition or the roof was already 20 years old, you would have to pay for the labor. But your roof is only 4 years old.
Yeah.
So I don't see you ever taking the panels off of the roof.
Oh, got it.
That's not gonna happen
The
for
other
the next 20 years.
the other sometime question, people.
Something happened.
Here's another one. 2 more that you're not thinking of. One is, my property taxes affected? No, because of the Green Energy Act. Your property taxes, they're not going to say your home's now worth $30,000 extra, so you're going to have to pay an extra $1,000 in taxes. You're not affected by that. Who insures the system? We insure the system. Another one that I get is, do they put a lien on my property? No. What they do file is a UCC1 filing on the equipment, meaning that if you stop paying for the equipment or the home foreclosed, you guys can't flip the equipment on eBay. If you stop paying for the equipment, we have the right to take the equipment back.
But we're not paying for the equipment anymore, are we?
We're paying for the power. So you're paying for the power. So if the home foreclosed, like that happened in Fresno with a bunch of homes, if the home forecloses, they can't just flip the equipment.
You guys can come and get you.
Take it.
Of course. Yeah, that's why UCC1 filing is filed. It's for the equipment.
So here's a question.
Yep.
Can I claim tax credits or incentives from the system? No. The company will own all tax credits and incentives.
Correct. That's how.
So
So-
you don't have anything. Oh, that's not good.
So we applied the tax incentive into it already. That's why your fixed monthly amount is 102.
Do we get from here the tax?
No.
No, you don't get any tax incentive from the utility either. You know. So yes, it's exactly what I explained.
That part is a bit fishy to me, to be honest. The applying part,
If you want to
we have
take,
no idea what is going
if
on.
you want to take the tax
I
credit,
don't know the difference between me applying the tax credit and
It's
you guys doing it.
30% of the system amount is the tax credit. So if you buy the system and you own the system, then you can apply for the federal tax incentive from the government.
Which is we're financing, not financing.
You're not.
We're not
We
even
are
buying the
leasing.
system. Yeah.
If you buy the system and you own it, you can claim the tax credit.
Yeah, we're leasing basically. We're not.
It's
financing.
like a lease. Yeah, it's
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 like
power
lease.
purchase agreement.
Yeah,
Exactly.
To be honest about this, that part is a bit shady to me. Let's be clear.
You can't claim the
I
tax
think
credit.
that's probably where the company is making it.
They
Leasing.
yeah. So the only way that you can claim the tax incentive is if you own the system.
Yeah, I
You
understand.
can't claim the
Yeah.
tax incentive.
If we want on the system, it's too expensive, right?
It's
Oh.
yeah. You'd have to take out a loan, and the federal tax incentive is based on your federal income tax.
Right.
So if a lot of people can't claim the full tax incentive. So let's say the total system amount came out to 50K with the main panel upgrade and everything else. 50K for the batteries, the panels, and the main panel. The federal tax credit would be 30% of 50K,
Another question.
12.5K. So if you paid the government if you owed the government 12,500, you're not getting a check from the government. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
It's just, instead of giving the 12,500 to the government that you owed them, you would apply the incentive into that, which would make that a net zero through your accountant. Like,
So-
old people can't even claim that tax incentive.
So on this,
Not calling you guys
purchasing
old,
the
but-
system before the end of the term.
Yep.
The answer is yes. But how much is the price the same? Like if I buy it
No,
5
it's
years from now?
depreciated
Yeah.
and it's
exactly.
assessed by a third party.
Okay. So
Every
it's-
year it depreciates a little bit more. Yes.
Okay, fine. All right. I think I read through this. It's
That's
fine.
agreement.
Yeah, it's basically this numbers over here and also some of the
If you click next, it'll take you to the next spot.
yeah,
Thank you.
which is the
Yep.
signing part, right?
Yep. And then if you guys can review this, it'll all save in your email. And if you have any questions, you just reach out to Nick. It's normal that you have questions. It's
Yeah, I
normal.
would probably get back to you
Yeah.
with more questions.
Of course.
And if you want, Nick, if you're
I feel
if you
a bit bad that I'm signing without doing my research, but there's always
Of
we
course.
still have
All of
time
us
to.
right now will make a group chat.
yeah, perfect. And it's your job to manage the account, just so you know. And then if you're able to pop by on the date of the survey,
Yeah, that's setting up auto pay. They give you like $10 discount, I think. But again, you don't make.
Can
any
I do it
payments.
the time I do the whole thing when the service is out? Because
So
I don't want to give out. my
what they
bank
do
account.
is they verify they verify that you have an actual bank account.
They
And I agree. If you elect to get a paper bill, they just
it's not about paper bill. It's just not. I'm not gonna pay anytime soon, right?
Why? Oh, you guys want a
Here's the
bank
thing.
account as well?
Here's the thing.
They don't charge.
Why? Why you want? If they don't charge, why we need to give a bank account?
Just verify you actually have a valid bank account. Nothing is being billed to that account. Not $1. It's put on file. That's what they do. They have it on file.
Oh.
It's just the account and routing. So like on the bottom of a check, you can write void. We don't even need the check.
That's not make sense for me. We didn't even decide about the purchase or the service. Why we give our bank account?
It's just put on file. So, well, let me ask you: if everything that I laid out here would you lean towards that side or this side, or you don't even know?
Based on that, no, I know. Based on the payment that we're going to pay monthly, we're paying less if it doesn't have a lot of hassle and cost or something.
That's exactly what it is. The same thing on that. They just have it on file to verify that they don't even charge the.
But I don't have any knowledge of it. I don't read about the solar or something like that. But I just start reading.
Yeah, they just have it on file to make sure you have a valid bank account so that they don't install it. Because if you said, "Hey, I want to get a paper bill in the mail," you can do that too. It's just $10 additional.
The good thing is fine. If we have an account number there, if we don't again start working with you, it's fine, right?
Yeah, we want you to feel good about it. We want you to be excited, like when we're updating your main panel, when we're putting the battery on, when you're downloading the app on your phone, when you start interacting and seeing, hey, my battery has this amount of power, and then you see yourself using it at night, and then it's just having a lower bill. It's really one of those things where 5 years later, I could come back and say, hey, you remember me? And you're going to be like, you're Taylor. You helped us with the system. But if you get an electric car, you get hot tubs, all that stuff, then yeah, of course, you're still going to get a bill from DTE.
Oh, that's
This is what the system produces. This is what you consumed last year. That's the exact amount based on your last 12 months of usage.
1,440. How about
last year, you used this amount of kilowatts. The system would produce that amount of kilowatts. So if you use a little less consumption this year, you'd get 100% of your power. And you have the design. You showed her the design where the panels would go.
Yeah.
You saw where the panels would go.
First sat down.
You want to show her again, just so she can kind of envision it.
the panel? This one is heavy.
Right, and it's gonna be like 97% when it takes all the shade.
Yeah, that's a good design. So like on the front of the roof, that's how the panels would be laid out. And you'd have the two on the side there.
Yeah.
Oh, we have the two here and this one. Oh.
Starting at 6 a.m., the sun rises in this. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way.
Oh, it's good.
It's great. You don't have any trees.
We have big tree.
The tree in the back shades this portion right here.
Oh, yeah.
I'd initially mark for the battery to go above the meter.
Right.
But when the surveyor comes, if you're able to be here on the day of the survey, I'd like that. If you're not, I know you have a lot of the installs going up in Grand Rapids. Okay. So if you're not, just at least communicate with him. I mean, he's going to be communicating with you as much or as little as you want.
So here is a question for you, guys.
Yep.
Looking at this monthly payment price over the years. So
you can print it out, put it on your fridge. You know exactly what you're going to pay. No more guessing.
No. That's not my question. I'm looking at the numbers.
Yep.
So monthly payment with auto pay, right? So year one went auto, no surprise. Year two, like you said, was it 103 or
105?
105.
2.99 on the escalator.
108, 1112. Keeps increasing.
Oh,
Correct. It's a 2.99%. That's why I was showing you on the calculator. Correct. So you take the 102.58 multiplied by 1.0299. The second year, the most it will increase to 105. Year three.
But you told me that the cup is about 5.99%. That's the maximum.
No, that's all right. So you do 102.58 multiplied by 1.0599. It would go up to 108 the second year times 1.0599. It goes up to 115. If it was a 6% escalator, it would go up 6% every year. The utility company is going up a lot more than 3% a year. So if you look at this,
you say the 25 years?
Yes.
It goes to $200.
What do you think your utility bill will be 25 years from now?
I have no idea, but
a lot more than that.
it's probably more, but I don't know how more because this number is a bit tricky, right? So what I thought about this is the maximum you can raise is about 6%, 5.99%, right?
So that's why I showed you year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. So if you take the 102 and you see,
Yeah, I understand that part.
that's
the math is clear, but I never thought it would just keep increasing.
it's a 3% escalator. That's the control. Well, you look at it, even 5 years from now, if you look at where you're at right now, 5 years from now, if you really do the research on, like, I'm just going to type it in, DTE Edison debt. So DTE Edison debt.
I understand that part, but I wouldn't take that number and just put it on my bill directly. I would assume that it would increase.
It's giving
never gone down historically.
It's giving you the cap that we can't say, hey, your rate's going up 7% or 10%. That's how the cap works.
This is 3% fixed and it happens every year. Is also a bit of a bit inconvenient because we never know what will happen. So another competitor to DTE would come in and reduce the cost. Who knows?
They would have to build their own infrastructure.
Of course they.
Which would, they're not going to build power lines and put them next to the existing power lines.
So I have something from Michigan.gov, and this is showing, we don't have a crystal ball, but the best way to look to the future is to look to the past. Mm-hmm. This is the cost of energy with DTE. Highlighted it to make it simple because I know there's a lot of numbers there. So this is in 2008. The average residential cost of energy was around 10 cents per kilowatt hour, right? DTE. Today, it's over 22 cents. So we've seen over 100% increase in 17 years.
Right.
Do you think?
So we're starting at 21 cents here with you guys as well, right?
Right. And so between now and another 17 years, this is averaging.
So the incentive should go to your company, right?
They're applying it towards.
They're applying it into the system.
So, but if you do the math, this is an increase of 5 to 6%. We'll call it 5.5. Whereas with us, we're able to do the same thing for you, and give you a backup power, and give you a brand new meter panel for the 2.9. Right. So, like you said, it's imagine a new utility. We're able to do the exact same thing and more, but they can just do it for less.
Okay.
We both know you're already paying for it. The money's going to be spent. It's just how much needs to be, and for what quality.
And the production rate goes down as the equipment ages, right?
Correct. And when we come to do the survey, that's when we're going to go up to your roof with a sun eye, and they're going to actually measure the sun hours.
Absolutely.
And if anything happens with the change, that's when Nick is going to call you after the survey and let you know the results of the survey.
Which could reflect on the monthly bill and all that.
Everything could be reflected. He could call you back and say, hey, we can't even do it. That's why the survey is so important, and then that's why the DTE that's why DTE has to approve it as well. So it's like I want you to call them on the day of the survey.
I wondered, what is really in it for this company. Now I'm getting the answers out of this. When I look at this layout of the prices.
The way I look at it is the catch is DTE is the monopoly. Why do we pick DTE?
It's just like taking a bit of what DTE is taking.
Yeah.
It's exactly.
It benefits us.
It's there's only one option. Now we're opening up the second option, and we're giving you a better option. Unless DTE is going to come change out your main panel and give you a battery and allow you to back up power during the home, then it's just.
If we are going to pay like less than days.
There is a catch that a year after that you have this installed and happy, and if I'm in town, I get one Ethiopian meal. A year after it's all installed, I get one Ethiopian meal.
Oh.
Deal?
I want in on that.
All right, Nick has to manage the project, so.
The project manager is out.
Yeah. He's going to send me a picture a year later, and he's going to be like, bro, this goat is so fire.
Very unique experience. So I gave this.
Okay, and then you go next. Maybe one thing is incorrect.
It's not saying.
Sometimes.
I had this happen earlier. Is the routing, you put the full routing, maybe it's 1 digit short or anything?
Yeah, so we'll get the survey for them to come out, check out the roof and the panel and all that good stuff, and then we'll do the welcome call like you talked about, and then that goes over like everything is exactly as we said.
Yep. I want you to go over everything that's on the welcome call with them. Like say you'll still have 2 bills. Obviously, the bill from the utility company will be very minimal. They're going to explain to you. Like DT is still going to send you a statement. They're going to say you understand you're going to get 2 bills. Okay. DT is still going to send you a bill for any kilowatt hours that the system isn't producing, which I went over.
Oh, so
I want you to preempt every single one of those questions before they go over it. So because it's you talk with a robot.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, it will be 2 bills because.
Yep. The other question they're going to every question that you're going to answer is yes, and then the last one the answer is no, and the last question is no from they do a verification to make sure everything that we told you was exactly the way that it is, and then
the survey, right?
yeah we're doing a quick phone call. It's called a welcome call. The last question they ask you, your answer is no. They're going to say, did Nick make you any promises outside of the agreement, like to give you guys a free TV or to give you a free trip to Ethiopia or something like that? That's the answer to that is no.
That's if the energy we have, like not AC or heating, so I don't think it's was this percentage, right?
This is based off the 12 months of
Yeah.
energy usage used last year.
Okay, that's fine. If we buy electric car, that might affect us.
If you buy an electric car, yes, it will affect you. You're buying this amount of power for this amount. And that's what you use. So if you buy an electric car and you charge it here every day, then instead of you paying the utility company all this money, you're being protected on that amount of your kilowatt hours. But yes, if you get an electric car, you're not going to not get a bill from DTE. DTE is still billing you.
Still being extra.
Of course. Can we take a picture together?
Sure.
That's the last part of the agreement. Nick, you got to be in the picture.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, this is the last part of the agreement.
Are we going to be in a lawsuit with the picture as an exhibit?
You're going to be on the front page of DTE's newsletter. They're going to say, "Hey." Okay.
3, 2, 1.
All right. Is this approved by the boss right here? Is that one approved?
Yeah. Okay.
Approved?
That's fine. Yeah.
You know what's crazy is he's not going to say this about himself, but he's one of the best project managers that we have because it's not just about this process. Because if we disappear and you never hear from us again, then it's like you will be like, hey, what if this happens or that happens? Like all we're doing is earning 5% of your trust today, and the other 95% we earn before the system gets installed. But even after it's installed, he's setting up you as a franchise for the next 25 years. Where if we go above and beyond for you, typically people go above and beyond for us and refer us to other people. Do you think he wants to knock doors in the middle of the winter? No. What he wants to do is have you call him, Nick, go to this family's house. And then every person that you refer, he ends up, what do you do for the referrals?
You get $500 per referral.
We get
so rather than us spending $500 on like a billboard, so every time you do a referral and we help them go solar, you guys get $500.
Yes or no,
when we get the panels on the roof, we send a check to you for $500. Well, otherwise you're just gonna say, oh yeah, say yeah, right?
Yeah.
So what is that $22,000?
This is if you paid like out of pocket,
Right.
like okay, now you should have gotten in your email the acknowledgement standpoint, so that like we can begin working on your behalf for you as your contractor, because we're gonna better us to fall off the roof than you guys, right? So that next one is about like the backup storage, how we're gonna do that for you, and then the last one should be opt in to receive calls or texts. That's going to be from our admin team as we keep you informed about the project, how things are going.
We're done, right? Is there anything?
There's the welcome call from Goodley.
And then they're just going to make the
We can do it another day, right?
It's under 5 minutes.
Yeah,
We have to go for dinner.
The scheduling, we have to do it now once we've signed up.
The scheduling will be in under 5 minutes. We'll be out the door. Like we're just at the very, very last part.
Or for the what?
The survey.
For them to come by a different day. Yeah.
Actually, Nick's going to sneak up to the side of the home with a ladder about 1 a.m. and start installing the panels.
Okay.
And then we got you.
We'll be good with that.
Okay, so we're going to call you to schedule the survey.
Okay.
Because the only days that we have is
Whatever
Thursday.
makes today's process shorter.
Yeah.
Because they've already been
I'm sorry.
long. Okay, so
Nick, do you have to explain anything on this call? It's just all yeses and the last one's a no?
Yeah, which I'm happy to
Okay.
do.
so what is this?
So we're gonna hit here. It's gonna give access to the camera and the microphone.
Just making
To do
sure
what?
you are who you are, and they're going to ask you the questions. You
Who's
under
gonna ask us a question?
a robot. It's like
Robot?
Like AI.
AI.
Oh, got it.
Another computer scientist from the University of Michigan State. Just kidding. Sorry.
And then
I gotta go eat some food. I'm tired.
I teach about privacy in
Yeah.
the university, and
do they
I
send
feel
you?
iffy about this thing.
Yeah.
This is just they're gonna literally verify, so it's secure.
That way that we didn't like sign up Joe Schmo from.
Yeah, we did. Somebody didn't take your.
Yeah, like you're.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the system seems frozen.
I do need a picture of your utility bill. Do they send that to you in the mail or online?
Did Will take a picture of it?
You got the bar.
Right.
Online email thing.
Why you want that one?
So that they can verify your home's energy usage to make sure, because the utility company.
All the estimates they did, they took it from our energy.
Yeah, but
consumption.
that when we submit the application to DTE, it's got the actual meter number, all
Yeah.
that.
They make sure that like we didn't pull a bar graph from some other random bill, right?
Oh.
Like they're very strict.
Oh, got it.
Yep.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you upload the bill. He does the welcome call. Nothing else.
Yes,
And the branch is going to call him to schedule a survey.
exactly.
And he needs to forward you the email, or how does he?
So
What's your email?
ask me?
So it's gonna be
Alright.
NICK.
For our team.
So which email is this?
This is my personal email.
No, which one does he send? Can you just stand and help him? Yeah.
Please confirm you understand that you will receive 2 bills going forward, one from Goodly for your agreement, and one from your utility provider for connection fees and power you don't produce from your solar system.
So on this one, is DTE going to charge us for establishing a connection?
So you have your service charge, right, of $8.50. But as of last October, the excess energy the solar produces is applicable towards that $8.50 service charge.
No, my question is whether they're going to charge us for the setup, the connection.
Like the distribution?
Not the distribution, but the connection that they're making with the solar system.
Not with the solar system. There's something called a meter fee. That's what Nick just explained. It's $8.50, but as of
last October, the excess energy you produce, those credits that you're getting,
Oh,
they're
as of last
applicable.
October?
Yeah, they're applicable to that.
Okay.
In the
Then
past-
it's gonna stop.
Yeah, in the past, it was there no matter what. Now, you guys can outproduce that with your energy, which is nice.
so you could get a bill that looks like that.
That's when I have.
Right. They do that to make sure that, like, you full.
Yeah.
But usually, you live faster sometimes, right?
Yeah,
And
that-
some things are super obvious, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think they just have to do that to, like, make sure people who are really, really slow
Mhm.
at reading don't get left behind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they should also give opportunity for people who are faster.
No, this
Sure.
is good.
Yeah, it's for your protection. It's
This
just
is good.
I see the motive, but in terms of usability.
it's good because the people that have had bad experiences with people with solar, it's
Okay,
because
I'm done.
somebody he just needs the utility bill and we're out of here.
So,
Who gets
Oh.
the utility bill?
got it.
Easy.
I'm going to go get some food after this. And here's your.
Your
Do you need
cable.
this? What are you at?
Where is the power for this?
Four.
For he's not going to die.
As long as I send it to you in 2
All right,
seconds.
so you got the utility bill, and then we're out of here.
This is a one-time cost?
The meter fee?
Mhm.
No, that's the DTE's connection fee. But like you said, the excess energy cuts into that.
Hopefully.
I mean, the idea is you're going to probably get a bill for $25, $20, $18. Obviously, your first few months, because I showed you the production,
Right.
going into the second year, like March, April, May, June, July is when you're stacking your credits.
Our payment is only this one.
For the first year.
Of course.
Mhm.
For the first year, that's fine.
That's what it's
In 25
producing.
years, this will
That's
be
what you're
twice.
using, okay?
Twice?
Of course. Every year it increases by 3%.
Next year it'll be 105. The year after that it'll be 108. Yes.
Rather than,
The utility
5 to
continue to
6%
increase.
GTE.
By the time this gets installed, all you have to do is what was their last bill? What was their last bill?
$200.
No, what was their last bill? I'll show them something real quick.
Or 201. $200.
No way.
If they don't want the-
Oh, just electric?
Yeah.
Your last bill was $200?
Yeah.
All right, watch this. So your electric
Not surprising though, right?
201
In the summer and the AC is running forever.
dot 28. Okay. So let's actually do the math because your last bill, you're paying 26 cents a kilowatt. You multiply that by 6,032. 1550 divided by 12. Your true average is actually 129.
So when this one is increased, this is gonna be increased because.
No, it's always the 2 point. This is always gonna. You have no control over this, but we're not buying any kilowatt hours from the grid.
So, anyways, our fixed payment is this one, whatever. Okay.
Correct. Yep.
Got it.
102.
For the first.
Yep.
For the first.
And obviously, if you guys didn't want a battery and you didn't want the main panel upgraded, like, and you could do it without that stuff, like.
But can it be done without the panel upgrade?
It's just you're gonna get stuck with a bill from. If the fact is that they don't need to update the main panel, then it's gonna go back to that original 97. If you don't want a battery on the side of the home, then it's gonna go down another $30. But the problem is if you don't have a battery, you're always gonna get bills from the utility. And if they go from 25 cents to 30 cents, that's when the 30 cents, that 130 goes up to 160. And then when you go up to 35 cents, that's when you have a $190 average. But that's what we're avoiding for you guys.
Okay.
You communicate with Nick. We want you to feel excited. We want you to feel good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
And
excited, but
Yes.
I have to.
Yeah.
Have to
For sure.
do our
Yeah.
research.
Yeah, yeah.
when you do research, you have questions, call Nick.
Yeah. Okay.
Depending on.
If you need Nick to come back and re-explain this to you again, he can do that too.
Okay.
But everything I told you was exactly how it is.
Thank you, Taylor.
There is no more, there is no less.
Yeah.
All right, take care, guys.
I'll take dinner. Everybody.
I'm going to get some chicken stew, some goat stew right now. All right, that's a wrap here in Michigan. We got the 3 spot today. We made these plays. That was a crazy transaction. We sat in one with Nick the other day. We didn't get the transaction. I said, bro, I got to show him the sauce. And bro, take me through what just happened in there.
That was crazy. It went from a one-legger, absolutely no, to wife woke up from her nap, came back in, joined us, had to get her on board, get everyone ready to go, and then she also wanted to wait, and he had to go back and do his thing again. Got both of them excited, not only to go forward with it, like we're going, we got the deal, we're moving forward with it, but they're stoked, they're excited.
They're excited, and they said we're not making any decisions today. I got to think about this. But what happened at the end?
We got the deal, baby.
We make plays.
We make plays.
See you guys on the next episode. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Next stop, Tour Day, Texas.
Let's go.
Boom.
All right, that was absolutely crazy. I don't even know how the heck Taylor locked that down. I think very few people would have been able to. But my biggest takeaways from watching him do his thing, work his magic, was absolute convictions up to here. Like whoever has more conviction wins, because he was getting to the point with them where it was quite literally like, you guys absolutely need to do this. I believe this with every cell in my body, like in my bones. This is the best thing for you. And everyone at the table was bought into it. They were bought into it. I'm bought into it. Obviously, he's bought into it. Like he always says, the first person you sell is yourself. And he's absolutely sold on the product and, the outcome, right? And so he's so sold on it that eventually they're sold on it too. And they went from, absolutely we're not doing anything today, right? So conviction was huge. I mean, that's next level conviction. That's the most conviction I've ever seen in any kind of sale. The other thing that I had a huge takeaway, just getting to see Taylor, work his sauce and whatnot, was having everything memorized like the back of your hand. I mean, it truly is a reflex for him. Like they say something, he's immediately responding. It's not even like a second. There's no ums, there's no uhs. It is a straight reflex. So he's got killer reflexes and he's got killer conviction. It's huge.